Okay, going through a list from Miss Low Risk. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to start with the weekly chart. I always like to start with the weekly chart. The weekly chart does not lie. Typically, if you know how to interpret, it does not lie. Let's get started. AUTL, that is in the Biotech, the float, a little bit high. They've got some earnings. Revenue, it's not looking good. Okay, but let's look at the chart first. Coming down to the 10-week and pulling back on lighter volume. So that's okay. Now let's just keep rolling through this. IOVA. Nothing too exciting there. To me, it's in kind of a downtrend still. HIMS, this has a little bit of a cup, sideways handle. You like to see the handle kind of go like that a little bit more to shake people out. And it is probably too low in the base. So it's about, if we look at the Fibonacci's, it is probably not even, well, yeah, it hit the 618 and rejected right off of that. And you're about 50% of the way there. So typically you'd want to see it higher up in the base and then pull back. So this is why I like to look at weekly charts, because let's look at the daily here. And yeah, it does have kind of a wedge here of sorts, and it has a daily squeeze. And when do they have earnings? They have earnings at the end of this month. So actually, I've used this product. I'm 42 years old, and I have a little bit of balding going on. I started using it. I've been using it now for about 6 months. It has not worked at all. They hit me with the subscription renewal, and I forgot. I didn't know they were going to do that. I wanted my money back. As soon as I saw the charge come through, they said, no, too late. I said, well, you better not fucking charge me again. And said they canceled it. So I could not buy stock in this company, even if it was a good setup, just for that reason alone. These guys can go fuck themselves, my opinion. ALT, let's looking at the weekly. This is just sideways. This is another one where I think is the dieting pills are bullshit. I think there are a lot of side effects you have to come of it. Now, the setup here, you have a little bit of a pullback. You had some big volume coming into it. And you've got sell signals right here, 1, 2, but no real volume. Probably something like that. If it breaks below that, you could probably take a short, in my opinion. I don't think this is a long. Let's look at the weekly again. Yeah, so you have a sell signal here. You'd like to see more volume on it, but look at that. It's holding at the bottom of, within this wick. The bodies have not closed above it. So I think you could take a short here. If it breaks below this candle, and then put your stop loss, like maybe right there. So that's, what are you risking? You got a high ADR stock, so that means it can make big moves. So you got a risk, maybe 8% risk for potential. Now let's look at it. This is where, see, I have an anchor VWAP here, but I did recently change the colors on those. So let's look at a new one so I can see it a little better. See, I have this TC2000 on, I have 3 different computers. Right now I'm on my iMac, which has a 27-inch screen. So I like to use it on the iMac, but the fucking thing doesn't work. It's too slow, as you can notice here. So it's a little frustrating. I need to upgrade my setup here and probably get a Windows-based computer if I'm going to continue to use. I haven't decided if I want to continue to use TC2000. But anyway, I would probably target profit right there. So your risk, I would just say maybe 7% risk, 12% gain would be the reward, at least to start scaling out. And then, you could leave a runner on there. Now, of course, it could always go up, but if you have a tight stop, you're kind of protected there. Now, if I had this other anchor VWAP on here, you can see it's trading below this long-term anchor VWAP from way back here. So isn't that something? Look, it was support, boom. And it's like just kind of chopping back and forth between that area. MRNS, negative 130% earnings growth last quarter. That's always a red flag. Float is smaller. They have some sales. Let's get into the chart. Yeah, maybe is that a cup? Is that a cup and handle a little bit? It may be, but it looks pretty choppy to me. The daily does look better. I don't know. I don't. Right now, it's not clear. Like I like to look for obvious, clear setups that many traders could easily see at a first glance. So first glance, this one is like, I don't really see it. Like, yeah, maybe. If it breaks above here, maybe. But if it breaks above the high, and you get some volume, then okay. But you just look at like how choppy it is. I'm not really that impressed by it. Groupon, this one looks okay. Get the daily squeeze. Got a new high. That's a new 10-bar high. But you haven't been able to get it. I don't know what happened on this day, but I would not buy it unless it breaks above and closes above that candle right there. So I think that's your buy point. But look at this. You got the 200-day right or week right there. And I didn't even know that they were still in business, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't like that chart. Let's go to the next one. RCKT, Rocket Pharmaceuticals. Float's okay. It's got some big volume here, so that's a good thing. So a lot of buyers stepped in right there. And you can draw a line here. And look, we've been staying above it. So that's good, and you've got buyers there. Let's see. Let's go to the monthly. Let's go to the IPO week. It's above that. Let's go to the highs high. So we're above the anchor view app now. We are still kind of well below. With the market as strong as it is and has been, do you want to be trading something that is still kind of well off the all-time highs? I mean, you're still, where is that? You haven't even retraced 50%. So, but it looks okay. I probably want to know more about like what the catalyst is, what they like, do a little more research on this one. But again, probably not one I would take. NUVL. Now here you go. Look, now this is something all the way like right at the all-time highs, and you've been going sideways. Negative earnings. These are in healthcare. Another biotech. Big time volume here. You've stayed above it, and you got a big idea. I think you could buy. It's kind of a box right there. You could buy it above that. A break to new highs. That's where I would take it. Daily squeeze. It's kind of been trending down a little bit. Nice little wedge. Yeah. So let's look closer at this at the wedge. Right. So you have a blue bar buy signal there, but no volume. A nice tight wedge, which is what you want to see. That's one of the keys to a wedge is it's coming to a point of agreement in price. So everyone's agreeing on this price right here. It's gotten really tight, but markets, when they get that tight, they tend to explode out of a move like that. So it could go up or down, and I would take it up at a breakout above this high, and I would probably want to, if I were going to take it short, don't think I would short this one, but they don't have any earnings. Not sure what the catalyst is here. I would not take it short. I would just wait to see if this wedge is going to pop here. Then you could put a buy stop order like right above this high, maybe like 10 cents above this high. Okay. Let's go to the next one, TMDX. Big gap up there. Look at this one. Nice move up. Then somebody thought something was wrong with it. Maybe there was something wrong. Maybe there's some bad data. And then it was like, oh no, actually the data's not wrong. So it came right back, it was roaring right back. I think this probably looks, out of all the ones we've seen so far, this one looks like the best setup to me. But yeah, it's just kind of like drifting higher. Let's look at the daily again. It's possible. I mean, yeah, maybe if it breaks above that high. Let's see, earnings. They didn't have any. I don't know. It's not like entirely obvious to me. INOD had a big sell-off here. That's the biggest volume when it has that red dot. Then you had here, it tried to go higher. Yellow dot means it made a new high, but then it closed lower, like made a new low as well. But yeah, it's got this nice cupping action, and you got some volume, and you have a squeeze. But again, it's still a bit off the highs here. Let's see. You got back to the 618 here. Another information tech. 108. They got some earnings. Yeah, you could call it. I guess you could call it a cup and handle. I would probably, you'd still want to see it a little higher up here. This is okay. Maybe if it breaks the high here. Let's look again at the weekly. All right, so you have breakout here from this base. And it's almost like another inside week, but tried to go higher and came back. So that's, what is that telling you? They're not so sure about taking it higher yet. So you do want to see it break above this high with some volume and then take out these highs, which it could do. RKT, is this one we already looked at? I think STNE. Yeah, it's got a nice box here. I'm going sideways. So I'll break above that box. You can take it. Here we go. DFH, residential construction. Made a new high. It's pulled back and higher. So look, it broke out from here, 3150. Let's see. And it went up how much in percentage? About 17% almost. And it's pulled back right to the top. I think this is more of a short setup almost. All right, so you went higher, everybody bought in. And then you had a kind of a shooting star candle, pulled back, and it's holding above this line. It's tried to break it below, held it 10 week. I think the proper buy point would have been like right there, 3160. And then you had a nice gain this week alone. Was 13%. What, 13%? Is that what it is? Yeah, 13.32% on that week. You know, maybe you could have bought even above the break of this high here. So to me, I think this is just because I'm in the residential construction business, and it's been the slowest of times ever. And I know that many of our vendors, their customers are not paying their bills. So I don't see how residential construction is bullish at all based off of that. But the market doesn't always make sense, can be forward looking. You have a wedge, you have the squeeze. But I just, knowing what I know about the business, there's no way I could take this long and have any kind of conviction. If it went higher, I would like stop out at like the first, any sign of weakness. ODD, software and infrastructure. This is a descending wedge flag, and those typically resolve downwards. So I think that is also bearish. Yeah, you've had some volume. Look, you had a big week here. They tried to break out of this wedge, and the sellers are like, no, we don't believe in this company. And then conversely, you had the same thing happen here. The bear's like, maybe. So I don't see a setup there. AUTL, I think this is where we started. So out of all of these, I don't really see any screaming buys or five-star setups. I've talked about HIMS and how I couldn't buy that. ALT also just, I believe in a carnivore diet, and I don't think that people should be taking these diet pills. I think there are going to be many consequences. That's a nice setup right there. See, big move. You go sideways on a weekly chart like that, and then you break out of it and you buy. You could buy as soon as it breaks that downward sloping line, and then even add as it breaks this high, and even add again here, right? So that's nice. But here, look, did you see a purple bar there in here? No. Here you do. So, yeah, you had a lot of volume come into it. The float is small, so it's something it's very capable of going much higher from here. I would want to see it get above this high if I were going to take it. Right now, I actually think this is a good short setup. I'm going to flag that. Okay, so that's all I got for this video. Let me know if there are any tickers you want me to review. And if you have any other feedback, I'm always open to hearing from others.